I'm often asked to talk about what's unique about Carrboro.
We're only 6.4 square miles and we have a population of 21,000. That makes us the most densely populated town in North Carolina.
My name is Lydia Lavelle. I'm the mayor of Carrboro, North Carolina, and this is the middle of June 2019, and we're celebrating Pride Month. One of the special things about this year is that it's the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall uprising, the birth of the modern gay rights movement. And so we advertised for folks to meet at the Carrboro Century Center on Saturday morning, June 1st, around 9:30, and we had a lot of folks show up there ready to march, and we had this beautiful ceramic rainbow ram that was our marshal of the parade. And we also had a local little band of folks that were great, kind of providing music along the way, and we just kind of took off from there.
So whereas Carrboro is committed to standing with and supporting the LGBTQ community and to working to ensure that all of its residents, regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity, are treated with dignity and respect. I, Lydia Lavelle, Mayor of Carrboro, hereby proclaim June 2019 as LGBTQ+ Pride Month in the town of Carrboro and ask all residents to honor the memory of those at Stonewall who said enough is enough.
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's special program, a part of Carrboro's month-long Pride celebration. Not anyone who says, "I'm going to be careful and smart in matters of love," who says, "I'm going to choose slowly."
I am the child of kings and serfs, freemen and slaves, having neither superiors nor inferiors, progeny of all colors, all cultures, all systems, all beliefs.
For the one I love most lay sleeping by me under the same cover in the cool night. In the stillness and the autumn moonbeams, his face was inclined toward me, and his arm lay lightly around my breast, and that night I was happy.
Look at me. I am not the kind of black man who dies on the news. I'm the kind who grows thinner and thinner and thinner until light outweighs us and we become it. Family gathered around, my barely body telling me to go toward myself.
Buenas noches. Este evento se creó hace un año para celebrar las vidas y el honor que tenemos en la comunidad LGBTQ LatinX. Creamos este espacio para nuestra comunidad, para educar, para tener un lugar donde celebrar y para compartir ideas y pues divertirnos, ¿no?
The second annual LatinX festival held at the Carrboro Town Commons. In my view, one of the most inspiring kind of events that we've ever had in Carrboro. It was an awesome evening, and it really highlighted the Hispanic LGBTQ community. At the Owasso Community Room, we had a panel of experts to talk about issues facing the LGBTQ community. We had Ames Simmons speak to us from Equality NC about issues facing transgender folks. We had Vernetta Alston, who is a member of the Durham City Council and a local attorney, talk about intersectionality between race and gender and everything. Then we had Jenny Womack, who works at UNC. She spoke to us about issues facing the senior LGBTQ population.
So as I understand it, my mission for you all is to talk about sort of what we have to be proud of as far as transgender folks in North Carolina and where we still have progress to make. I think many times trans people of color in our community just don't feel comfortable calling law enforcement when their physical safety is at risk, because oftentimes the law enforcement is actually the threat to their physical safety. The Division of Motor Vehicles recently modernized their policy around changing gender markers on driver's licenses. Like when I got stopped by the police for a ticket and they were in their police car for 20 minutes and I was wondering, did something come back when they ran my driver's license? Did they somehow end up with my birth name and they know I'm trans, and what's about to happen to me with this police officer? And what happened is they came up and gave me the ticket. So that's not the experience that a lot of people of color have. There's a lot more work in the realm of anti-violence that we have to do. Just last week, we saw the news that a trans woman of color was murdered in Lumberton, out the east side of the state. I went to her funeral. So our anti-violence mission still continues to be top of mind for me.
So I was asked to talk a little bit about intersectionality, challenges facing the LGBTQ community. Obviously, we share identifying characteristics that bring us into this community together, but I think how we're able to live out our identities and our lives can vary substantially. I think we understand better now than we did 10 years ago that our intersecting identities cause our issues to intersect. More than a third of individuals experiencing homelessness nationwide identify as LGBTQ. And they continue to experience disproportionate rates of violence and denial of services because of their identities. We need non-discrimination ordinances. I think the fact that we are still having this conversation about the fact that people can still get fired from their jobs because they identify as a member of the LGBTQ community, and they can be denied housing on those grounds, I think is completely unconscionable. We must approach our intersectionality as an opportunity for action rather than simply a reference to the depths of our oppression.
I'm really grateful to have been asked to talk specifically about LGBTQ plus communities and aging. Universally, LGBTQ plus elders as a whole tend to be single at higher rates, and they report loneliness and isolation at much higher rates. The reason I talk about loneliness and social isolation is it's one of the biggest risk factors for poor health outcomes for older adults in general, and it's one of the things we try to mitigate with policy at the national level by establishing sort of trickle-down funds from the federal government to regional and local entities to create aging services. And we have a policy need at the national level that there is a possibility under the Older Americans Act to be recognized as a greatest social need group. And that's one of the things that SAGE is really pushing for, is that we become recognized in that way. So, thank you.
Wednesday evening, June 26th, at the Carrboro Farmers Market, we had just a fabulous dance party from 6 to 8. It bookended the event at our, town kind of living room. I just couldn't believe all the diversity of people that were out there. There were lots of young kids. By young, I mean teenage, young adults. We don't have that many events that spontaneously teenagers and young adults just show up at and look like they're having a wonderful time. They were all having a great time. I saw folks my age who haven't been out in a bar in forever, and they were so excited to have this opportunity to get out and just dance. And then just everyone in between, from straight couples with little kids that are out there dancing with gays and lesbians, and how it's just, they don't know anything any different. I was really very pleased. I was really happy with the month.
The hope that I have for young people who are growing up now is that they have a future where trans people are not defined by our most difficult circumstance.
The level of representation that we have in government and elected office in North Carolina and across the country is only growing.
kids that are either LGBTQ themselves or that have friends that are LGBTQ or that have parents that are LGBTQ to talk to each other and to talk to their relatives and to talk to their elders about their acceptance and support for this community and how it ain't no big thing and how, we got so many other problems in this world we need to deal with other than, who loves one another.
Trans people are lawyers, they're judges, they're legislators in state houses. Trans people are teachers, they're nurses, they're firefighters, and trans people can do any of those things and will bring a unique richness of perspective that will make all of us stronger.
We are here and we are prepared to fight, and we have greater access to levers of power to really make a difference. And so I look forward to seeing what happens over the next few years. I think it's going to be good.